Foundations CSS. As you can see, it just applies some stuff to the elements that are there. But most of its rules are under classes and stuff. So to use it, we just need to structure our HTML the way that Foundation expects so that we can take advantage of their rules. And that's all pretty well documented in the Foundation documentation, which we'll get back to in a moment. But we're going to need a little bit of CSS of our own. So let's add a style sheet. We'll just add another file to our project called index.css. And my first issue with this is that now everything hugs the side of the page. So we could deal with that by just applying some padding to the actual body. So body is an element like any other. So we could target it with a selector based on its element name. So just body. Don't need to put that in a string in CSS. So that's a selector, and then a CSS rule is enclosed inside curly braces. So selector, curly braces, and then a set of CSS properties and values. So property, padding, colon, and then the value. And I could put some pixel amount if I wanted, like 10px. Semicolon at the end of every rule. I'm not going to use pixels. I'm going to use a different unit called a rim, one rim. And a rim is a typographic unit that is equal to the base font size of the entire document. So if the base font size is 16 pixels, which is the default in Chrome, then one rim will be 16 pixels, and I can do things in proportion to that. So I could say 0.25 rim, and that would be 4 pixels. But the point is it's relative to the font size. So if the person has actually set their browser preferences to use huge fonts, it'll be relative to that. So kind of nice. All right, I saved that. Selector, rule, CSS property, colon, value, semicolon. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's up? Oh, I made a style sheet, but it's just sitting there. Yep, the HTML needs to know about it. So we added a link tag earlier to point out to this external one. I bet we could do the same for our own. Put your own style sheet last. That will help you override the rules that are coming from other style sheets. So let's make a link tag. Rel equals style sheet. href equals the path to that style sheet, which is just index.css. Notice on a link, it's href. On script, it's src source. That's an unfortunate decision, made during that 10-day sprint way back when, not to use href like you do on a link. Does that work? Yay! I have some padding. Very nice. We could do some other stuff if we wanted. We'll leave it at that for now. So what did we do? We just added a style sheet, right? What changes have we made since our last commit? We added the style sheet and we added a link to it in the HTML, right? And right now, those changes are in our working directory. If we want to add them to our history, we must first add them to Git's index, so it is tracking the change. Git add dot again to just add both changes. We committed that separately when I said add foundation CSS. So now it's staged. I need to commit it to make it a permanent part of my repository, part of my history. Git commit, add custom CSS. Not much, but it's something. And now that's grand. It's part of my repository, but it's still just living on my laptop. I'd like to go ahead and push it up here to my remote. So git push it is. Hoorah!